Welcome seekers of the truth to the Magical Services channel. So this is going to be a most supreme career horoscope for the general collective for the time that the moon is in Sagittarius. And as I'm recording this video right now, the moon has been in Sagittarius for about 10 minutes. And it'll be there until the 22nd. And so this horoscope will be for that time frame. And with no further ado, let's get into it. So the collective professional atmosphere crosses a major psychological and operational threshold as the emotional current shifts from the brooding forensic depths of Scorpio into the expansive fire-lit plains of Sagittarius. The suffocating intensity and paranoid undercurrents of the past few days finally break, replaced by a sudden collective hunger for big-picture vision, strategic freedom, and forward momentum. The workforce no longer wants to dissect failing projects or obsess over hidden office agendas. Instead, there is a profound craving to look at the horizon and ask whether the overarching mission is still meaningful. Work must offer a sense of expansion, philosophical alignment, and adventure rather than just a paycheck. If a professional endeavor cannot take you somewhere new, intellectually, systematically, or globally, the Sagittarius moon will make it feel incredibly heavy and restrictive. Yet, this soaring desire for professional expansion immediately collides with the era's most formidable structural test. Venus in Libra locked in a tight, fateful opposition to retrograde Saturn in Aries. This axis acts as the gravitational center of the period, serving as a ruthless stress test for every business, partnership, contract, and financial negotiation. Venus, operating at full strength in her home sign, craves harmonious collaboration, smooth client relations, and the elegant equilibrium of mutual benefit. But Saturn, moving backward through the fiercely independent sign of Aries, drags the weight of reality, limitation, and individual sovereignty into the boardroom. This opposition forces a sober, unsentimental accounting of what your professional alliances actually cost. It asks a difficult, necessary question. Are you maintaining this business relationship out of genuine strategic value or out of obligation, fear, and the comfort of the familiar? Partnerships and vendor agreements that have been sustained by polite consensus rather than equitable material returns will feel the friction of this axis acutely. Saturn does not punish ambition, it fortifies it. The corporate bonds and financial structures that survive this transit are those willing to undergo a frank audit of boundaries and actual return on investment. What is decorative will fall away. What is load-bearing will be reinforced. Complicating this high-level financial reality check is a volatile subterranean current of ambition and defensiveness driven by Mars in Cancer. Mars in his fall here, meaning the impulse to execute, compete, and assert, is tangled in emotional vulnerability and a deep, often unarticulated need for systemic safety. This Mars is caught in a brutal crossfire squaring Venus, opposing retrograde Pluto in Aquarius, and squaring retrograde Neptune in Aries. In the daily grind, this configuration is a breeding ground for intense workplace friction and profound confusion. While your conscious mind craves the strategic freedom of the Sagittarius moon, your primal professional drives are mired in suspicion, hidden power struggles, and systemic bottlenecks. The opposition to Pluto suggests that beneath the surface of daily tasks, a quiet war for operational control is being waged. The square to Neptune adds a thick layer of illusion. You may misread a colleague's delay as deliberate sabotage or push forward on a project based on obscured, inaccurate data. The danger here is acting out of professional insecurity, weaponizing your authority, or engaging in passive-aggressive maneuvering to force an outcome. The invitation is to recognize the shadow when it rises, to pause and verify your metrics, and to refuse to let paranoia dictate your operational strategy. Pushing blindly through this Martian mud will only lead to misaligned efforts and severe burnout. The vital antidote to this heavy subterranean operational weather is found in the radiant, expressive skies above. Jupiter and Mercury, both traveling through the dramatic sign of Leo, offer a brilliant strategic bridge over the troubled waters of the Venus-Saturn opposition and the Martian fog. While the structural demands of Saturn feel restrictive and the daily friction of Mars feel confusing, your conscious mind retains the capacity for immense visionary clarity, warmth, and eloquence. Jupiter sextiling Venus in Libra opens the professional heart to genuine benevolence, making it easier to negotiate with grace and see the mutual benefit in a difficult contract. This is a premier window for high-level pitching, executive communication, and articulating your overarching goals to stakeholders. When the Saturnian pressure makes you want to concede, or the Martian friction makes you want to attack, use your words. Speak from a place of strategic authority with the open-handed confidence of Leo. A single generously framed and brilliantly articulated presentation can bypass the daily grind's toxicity, cut through the static, and secure vital executive buy-in. As the moon moves through the middle degrees of Sagittarius, it conjuncts retrograde Black Moon Lilith, adding a fierce, untamed edge to the collective professional narrative. Lilith in Sagittarius refuses to conform to polite, socially acceptable, and overly restrictive corporate structures. She demands authentic, unapologetic professional autonomy and the right to define success on her own terms. When the lunar light illuminates this point, you may experience a sudden piercing refusal to shrink your vision for the sake of keeping the peace with a conservative board or a risk-averse manager. This is not a destructive impulse. It is a reclamation of your professional sovereignty. It is the realization that true leadership does not require the amputation of your boldest ideas. If you have been playing a sanitized, safe version of the corporate game to maintain your position, this transit will make that performance feel unbearable. Underpinning this entire operational journey is the sun's steady karmic march toward the south node in the final degrees of Leo. This adds a profound layer of fated release to your professional identity. You are being asked to shed the performative aspects of your career, the exhausting need to be seen as a sole visionary, the ego's demand for constant individual applause, or the clinging to a leadership style that has expired. The North Node in Aquarius demands a future built on decentralized networks, collective innovation, and systemic contribution. What you willingly release now regarding your personal brand and ego-driven ambitions creates the vacuum necessary for a more sustainable, structurally sound, and genuinely collaborative professional future to take root. Ultimately, this transit is an alchemical process for your career, burning away the superficial alliances and illusory daily tasks, leaving behind only a professional life that is unbreakably real, strategically brilliant, and endlessly expensive. So that is what I had for you today, collective. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to like this video or comment this video, share this video or hype this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, or hype our channel by letting your friends and acquaintances who might benefit from it know about it. All those acts would be great and greatly appreciated. Now, if you want, feel free to check out the magical service being offered in the description box. It is quite awesome and it could be very useful, in fact. And indeed, this is a magical channel. Now, beyond that, I thank you so much for your time and for being here. And I do encourage you to stay in tune to future uploads, as I always try to keep fresh stuff on here for y'all. All sign readings, sign-specific readings, longs and shorts, divinations and astrology readings, and whatever else you would like to see feasible. So please do let me know about it. Beyond that, like I was saying, thank you so much for your time and for being here and being part of our tribe and supporting our channel. Until the next time, blessings.